Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I have a bargain card project for you today and I love it so much. We're going to talk about some shimmery cardstock that is great for embossing, some bulk pack heavyweight cardstock that has my favorite colors, and then this huge half price die set. This is definitely the star of the show. It's called Say Cheese. This was the large die of the month in April of 2022 from Spellbinders. And it makes this really beautiful card. It's large enough to fit on a 5x7. We are going to use just the camera because the flash doesn't fit on an A2. This cardstock, I've already cut everything out. This is the back of the camera, the base of our camera, and it's got some beautiful embossed lines. That blue cardstock is from the Oceans mix, and it is the cardstock I reach for the most. If you go back through my videos, you will see that color. Actually, you'll see this color combo over and over again. This is my favorite, and the majority of this cardstock comes from Michaels. This light purple is from the Very Violet mix from Michaels. That darker teal is Bermuda Bay from Stampin' Up. So the best bargain out there is using the supplies you have. Like, hands down, I got a closet full of cardstock like you haven't seen. But usually it's because somebody, Stampin' Up, is retiring my favorite color and I stock up and buy like 5 or 6 packs of it before I can't get it anymore. This silver cardstock, I don't know if you can tell that that's silver. It's like a matte silver. The back is craft and it's super thin. It curls up when you just leave it all on its own. But if you're gluing it to something, it's lovely. I really like that it's matte silver and it comes in a bulk pack and I use it all the time. I've been complaining about it actually in videos, but then I went to price out some heavier weight, higher quality silver cardstock and it's really expensive. I bought some, but it will be saved for like really fancy cards, right? It's about knowing your audience and knowing what kind of card you're making and how much money and time you're willing to put into it. I am just gluing all the pieces onto the front. I love that we have these like little buttons that stick up and there's going to be little holders on the side for our camera strap. Super, super great. I just love that. Okay, so this Michaels cardstock comes in a bulk pack of 100-pound cardstock, and there's usually 3 colors in each pack. The challenge for me is that Oceans mix, I use that blue all the time, but then I don't use the others as much. In this die set, there are 3 sentiments: hello, thanks, and smile. I'm using the hello. You know I love a multi-purpose sentiment. So later on, maybe on the inside, I can add a thank you or a happy birthday. I might stamp it. I might use an emergency sentiment. I've got all kinds of options, but I love that this leaves it wide open. Friends, I want to know what your best bargains are. What do you use that is really cost effective? Where do you get it? Why do you like it? What's the caveat? There's always a trade-off. These are the straps for the camera. They aren't curved quite as much as I want, so I'm just taking my fingers and very gently curving them a little bit more. I will tell you, like for the silver cardstock, the caveat is that it's super thin and it curls up a little bit. For the Michaels colored cardstock, it fades more than other cardstocks. A while back, I made like a little backpack with pop-up mechanisms. So you would pull the tab and this raccoon and an apple and some other stuff popped up out of the little backpack. And I left it on my desk, which is near a window, for like 6 weeks. While I was hemming and hawing about making a video about it. And when I picked it up in the bin of all the supplies I had to make the video, I pulled the pull tab and what had been inside the backpack was nice and vibrant, but everything that had been sticking up out of it was faded a couple of shades. Okay, you need to know that about this cardstock. There's always a trade-off. I still use this cardstock a lot, but I'm not going to use it for something interactive. So here I'm using this, this was a find. Some of you probably use this stuff already. It is the Shimmer cardstock from Michaels. It comes in a pack of 100. The base price is like 20 bucks or something, but you can get it on sale. I got mine at 30% off. And it is, they say it's 65 pound. I don't think that's right. I think it's thinner than that. I went to rub this with a baby wipe before I put it through the embossing folder, and I might as well have just like sprayed it with a super soaker. It was unusable. So I ran it through without getting it wet at all, and it embossed so beautifully. I will be coming back to this over and over. I am using my Beacon 3-in-1 though to attach that to the card base. It's deeply embossed. I want to shellac it with adhesive, but I don't want to get it super wet. So the Beacon is, I think, like rubber cement, but thinner. It's easier to apply. And so it will not get it wet. It's a solvent-based glue, and I can really like shellac it on there. I did make the flash for this card thinking originally that it would fit, but it doesn't. So there's that. I popped up that camera with some thin foam adhesive. That's the Big Momma foam roll from Simon Says Stamp. It's huge. I've had it for 2 years and I still have at least half of it left. I don't use a ton of foam tape unless I'm making an interactive card, but I liked it here because I was putting this onto a deeply embossed panel. I also like that that one is 1 millimeter thick instead of 2 or 3 millimeters. I don't want a lot of lift unless I'm trying to hide a mechanism or something behind it. I am assembling the flowers. There are a handful of florals that come in this set, and there's just so much you can do with this. I think these are super cute. They come together easily. Most of the flowers are 2 or 3 pieces. So like those top flowers, you layer the petals. There's 2 pieces for the petals, and then the middle is separate, and it's actually 2 pieces for the middle. Just like the little flowers, there's the flower itself, and then there's 2 pieces for the middle. But I skipped one of those layers. I just wanted a 2-toned flower, so I just popped it right on to the center, and that worked fine. For my leaves, I have stacked these too thick only because this is a deeply embossed panel. And I didn't want them to get warped as I was trying to set everything down, or get crumpled as I was tucking them behind the camera. I left that corner of the camera free of foam tape because I knew I was going to be putting things behind there. I am not the best at arranging florals all on my own. It is one of the reasons that I buy a lot of Spellbinder stuff, because some of them, they tell you exactly where to put each of the blooms. And that works really, really well for me. Like the Floral Reflections set did that, and the 4 Petal set did that. And then for something like this, there are so many sample photos on their website. I looked through them all. I figured out like which florals did people put together. I did arrange them on my own, but I felt like I was deeply inspired by the sorts of things I saw on the website in the best of ways, right? So I wasn't starting from scratch going, what am I supposed to do with these? I am also then filling in some of the empty space with some of this greenery. I cut more than I need. When I put together a floral anything, I tape all of the blooms together on the back using some micropore tape, and all of the leaves together, and then I just run them through my die cut machine together. So I ran them all through in the lighter purple, and then I ran them all through in the darker purple. The leaves I did twice, and it's super quick and easy, and I just left them in my die set that way for the next time that I make cards. That micropore tape will last for, I don't know, maybe 6 times through. I often will double it up, and I can get an extra time or 2 through there. It just kind of depends. If you want them to stick together a lot longer, you could use some red line tape, and then just use a whole boatload of anti-static powder to get rid of the sticky on there. Friends, that is our card for today. Please share down in the comments, what are your favorite bargain supplies? Where do you get them? We want to know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.